Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show, Thursday, June 3rd. Ian Cameron and Conor Mack ready to break down this card. Let's get right to it because there is a game that's just about to begin in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. It's the Rays and Yankees. The Yankees sending their ace, Garrett Cole, to the mound. Ryan Yarbrough for the Tampa Bay Rays. We've got the Yankees minus 195. Home favorites, total 7.5 across the board here in this game. The Yankees starting to put it together, a couple of wins in a row. They've won the last two in this series after dropping the opener on Monday. So the Yankees trying to get their game back together again, showing signs of that, and probably a good chance to win this series and win today with obviously Garrett Cole on the mound. He's been great once again this season. And Ryan Yarbrough's had a tough time against this Yankees team in particular. So it's not a game I don't have a bet on it, but I do think the Yankees win. It's obviously not a price I'm going to lay. Maybe you can go a team total over with the Yankees, perhaps, but just a lean for me. I did not get involved. Connor, what's your thoughts here? Rays Yankees just minutes away.
Yeah, I did not get involved with this game. I've been frustrated with this Yankees Rays the last couple of days. I am off. Maybe the Yankees are getting a little healthier, their lineup, maybe a team total off Yarbrough. He's either kind of hit and miss. He's either on or he can get touched a little bit. So maybe, some runs there with the Yankees.
Yeah, definitely leaning toward that team total over with the Yankees. All right, next game on the slate, we've got the Boston Red Sox taking on the Houston Astros. Our man Jose will be in attendance for this game today, the finale of this series, afternoon baseball at the Juice Box, Minute Maid Park. Martin Perez, the lefty for Boston, Jake Odorizzi for the Astros. We've got Houston minus 120, home favorites, total 9 across the board. Houston looking to sweep the 4 games here. They have just been owning Boston in this series. We finally did get a better performance yesterday from the Boston pitching staff, but unfortunately the bats went silent, and the bats have been silent this whole series for the Boston Red Sox. However, before we start thinking, they're going to get shut down again, it is still a lineup that's capable with JD Martinez and Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts, and Verdugo. I mean, this is a capable lineup. They're not going to be in this kind of rut offensively indefinitely for the rest of the season. They're going to start hitting at some point. I think this is a day they break out because I'm not a big fan of Jake Odorizzi. This is a guy that's been a little bit inconsistent since coming off the injured list. They're really watching his innings pitched. He's not a guy that I really trust at this stage of his career. He's been bounced around from team to team. So definitely a situation for going into this start here for Odorizzi. I think this is a good matchup for Boston, a chance to finally get him going here a little bit offensively, get their bats going against him in this game. On the flip side, I like Houston against Martin Perez. He's a lefty. Martin Perez, just when you're ready to trust him again, he struggles in his last start against the Marlins of all teams. And now he's got to face this Houston team that just bashes southpaws, and they've been doing that all season long. So you had a low-scoring game last night. What, a 2-1 it ended for Houston? I think something different is in the cards this afternoon. I like this game to go over the total, and I'd lean a little bit to the Boston side here a little bit. I'm not crazy about Perez by any stretch, especially against a Houston lineup that can mash lefties, but I think there's desperation here to salvage a game, and the money's already come in on Boston, so there's people in agreement that the Red Sox might have a chance to get their offense going and win this game. So lean Boston, but my stronger opinion here over the total, over 9, Red Sox Astros. Connor, what do you think here, Boston, Houston?
Yeah, I agree with you. How about these Red Sox? Kind of another one of these stretches where they can't score any runs. They did this, 3 weeks ago, and they kind of went on a tear of runs. I'm with you. I'd lean the full game over 9 here. Maybe you could go team total, both sides. The Red Sox is plus money, plus 106. Perez should get hit. The Astros hit lefties. I'm not big on Odorizzi. I think this is when the Red Sox break out. And yeah, I'd lean Red Sox a little bit too here at the plus 110. Hopefully they could salvage a game. I just don't love it. I'd rather look full game over and team total here with these teams than taking a side in this one.
Yeah, definitely. No question about that. Look, Boston was feeble last night. Absolutely feeble at the plate. No question about that. However, we do have to keep in mind that, some of these pitchers are not bad. Garcia, Valdez, some of these guys that have shut them down. I rate them better than Jake Odorizzi at this stage of his career. So I do think this is a better matchup for that Red Sox lineup today against him than what they've seen the last couple games. Next up, Texas, Colorado, Fultonevich and Gomber, your pitching matchup here. This is I believe this is the last of the day games this afternoon. We've got Colorado minus 125, home favorites, 10.5 the total in this one. I have no interest in this game at all. I don't like either pitcher, but I'm not going to bet over 10.5 in this series with two lineups that I can't trust to hit bad pitching. That's as simple as that. Texas and Colorado, you could have these meatball pitchers thrown out there, these guys you don't trust, these guys that are in bad form, and you can't necessarily still count on them to still hit these pitchers. That's the issue. Fultonevich is hittable, so is Gomber, but Texas and Colorado have shown you already in this series that against some pitching that's not the greatest, they still don't hit and they still don't score runs. So that's the problem here going into this game. The Rockies, I understand maybe Gomber, you trust him a little bit, but he's still not very good. And Fultonevich, I want no part of Fultonevich and I want no part of Texas. But boy, I'm not rushing to bet Colorado at a price and laying a price. And I can't trust an over because these are two lineups that sometimes make mediocre pitching look good. So just totally off the game. Didn't even come close to betting it. What do you think here, Conor? Texas, Colorado.
I'm staying away. If I'd be on it again, I'd be on the first 5. I kind of went chasing a little bit. I got my ass whipped early. I took the Dodgers minus 2.5. I took the first 5 under in the Rockies Rangers last night. It came through. I don't think, again, Fultonevich has good numbers against a few of these Rockies. Like a guy like Charlie Blackmon, their best hitter, 2 for 19. Matt Adams, 2 for 13. He has some decent numbers. He's been hard to trust for me. But their bullpens have been worse, especially the Rockies. I'd be on the first 5 under 6. Hey, 5 innings, you got to get 7 runs. So you got to still score. And with these lineups, they're not very good, and they're not deep. So if I were to bet this one, I'd look the first 5 under 6. And I just don't want Gomber. Minus almost 130 here, minus 126. It's a stay away. Rangers just can't hit. They just keep losing and scoring 2 runs. I just don't want them here, so I'm going to pass.
All right, next up, we've got the Marlins taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Elieser Hernandez on the mound here for the Miami Marlins in this game. Tyler Anderson for the Pirates. This one has the Pirates pretty much actually Marlins opened a slight road favorite. Now it's down to Pittsburgh a little bit as the favorites here in this game. The total 7.5 across the board in this one. Don't really have a strong feel on this. Anderson's definitely pitched a little bit better than a lot of people thought coming into this season, no question. Give the Marlins credit. They took advantage of, unfortunately for me, with liking the Jays in the first 5 last night. No control or command for Alek Manoah. Learning experience for him. And sometimes you're going to have that where you've got good stuff, but that particular night you don't have your good stuff. You don't have your command. You can't find the strike zone. And unfortunately, that was the case for Alek Manoah, the Blue Jays, last night. Good news is for the Jays, they rallied back to win that game. Pretty tough loss for Miami. I don't like the spot coming off that kind of loss. They had the game in hand, and then they cough it up late in that game against the Blue Jays. Elieser Hernandez, I certainly don't trust him. He's making a spot start here. 7.71 ERA in relief work this season, which is not good. I actually lean Pirates here. The money's kind of gone that way. But I'm not in love with, again, laying a price with a team that's got the record Pittsburgh has, 20-34. I mean, just a dismal baseball team. Yeah, I lean Pittsburgh, but at this price point, it's not enough to bet it. What do you think, Conor? Marlins, Pirates?
Yeah, shout out to Don't Ask, Don't Tell with the $5 dono. Jose is a walking curse. Astros win. I love it. All right, then this one, I don't want the Marlins either. This is just ugly. The Marlins have got me lately, up and down. With them, they score 4 runs. They get to Manoah yesterday. Then they blow the game late. And I just don't love backing the Pirates, even at minus 110. Not with Anderson on the man. He's been a bit better. Still, he's 3-5 with a 4.63 ERA. I just don't want the Pirates at minus 110. I'm looking to get them at value in spots like a first 5, cut my innings. I just don't want this here. Even though I could see them maybe winning this one, I just see no value. I kind of lean under, but I'm just going to pass.
Yeah, I like that, David. Tyler Anderson over 5.5 strikeouts. Absolutely. We saw the Marlins just swing and it's a swing and miss city against Robbie Ray 2 days ago. They're not good against lefties. They could get to 6 strikeouts there. I like that in terms of a strikeout prop lean for this game. Arizona and Milwaukee next up on the radar. We've got the Diamondbacks here going with John Duplantier on the mound here. Brett Anderson, Duplantier actually. He's not French. He's not French Canadian. So you got to pronounce it the English way. Duplantier. For him on the mound for the Diamondbacks, and Brett Anderson for the Brewers. Milwaukee minus 170 to minus 180 home favorites. Total 9, shaded to the over. Starting to move to 9.5, and I see why that is. I like the over. I think there's runs here. Look, Arizona is hitting. The offense has really been better the last few games. I know this has been a dismal baseball team, but for the most part, but they have started to hit. It's been their pitching that's been a problem. It's been their bullpen that's been a problem, and Duplantier is just not very good, in my opinion. He's certainly hittable. His ERA this season, not very good either. It looks like it's 7.71. That's not good. I believe this is his second straight time he's going to be in a starting role. And then on the flip side, you got Brett Anderson, the veteran lefty, 4.18 ERA, but Arizona matches up well against him. Hits lefties better than righties, this team. Throughout the course of the season, Arizona's consistently been better against the left-handed side. You look at some of these bats: Nick Ahmed, 4 for 12, 333 average. Eduardo Escobar, Josh Reddick, among others, have hit him pretty good in the past. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of John Duplantier's stuff going up against this Brewers team. Bullpen bad on the Arizona side, so I think we get some runs scored in this game. I like Arizona-Milwaukee over 9. To be honest with you, I'd actually lean slightly to the first 5 innings on Arizona. To me, this is a big number to be laying with Brett Anderson. Not that I'm a Duplantier fan, because I think he's going to give up runs too. But Arizona does hit lefties well. Brett Anderson's not been overly great, since returning to the rotation. And he's laying minus 180. I mean, this is Brett Anderson laying that kind of price. I mean, I think it's worth a small sprinkle. Arizona first 5 in this one. Yeah. What do you think here, C-Mac? Arizona, Milwaukee.
That's right where I'm going. I'm going to take the D-backs on the first 5. And it's not, Duplantier. I just think the D-backs have been hitting it lately. You kind of ran through some of the numbers with Reddick and Ahmed. I want them here. I'm going to take them first 5. Of course, it's dropped. It's plus 130 to the full game at 155 because that D-back bullpen's horrible. And runs should be scored. The over 9, it's minus 125. A good look might be the first 5 over 4.5. I don't do that too much, as you know. And it's minus 125. So there's no real value over the 4.5 here. Unless you have no problem taking that juice, go ahead. I think runs will be scored early. Duplantier has been good, but I'll take a shot that the D-backs hit Anderson here. I'm not impressed with him, and he should not be minus 170. No way.
All right, good stuff. Did I see my old friend Andrew McInnes in the chat just a second ago? Oh, I think so. Welcome in. It was unexpected. Checking in on the MLB closing time show. Andrew McInnes, welcome. Next up, we've got the let's see, what do we got here? I've lost my slate of games here, my rotation. Here we go. Detroit Tigers, Chicago White Sox. Pretty good pitching matchup here. Casey Mize for the Tigers, Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn's been marvelous this season for the White Sox. Imagine that he's having the best season of his career, and basically, he's been around the block a very long time. He's been serviceable. He's been solid, but he's not put together numbers like this for an MLB season to this point at any point. And it's just been a terrific season so far for the old veteran righty Lance Lynn. He's laying 200 here in this game. The total is 8, shaded to the under across the board. I'm just not going against Lance Lynn. And I like Casey Mize. I like the way he's going in the last few starts for the Tigers. He's trending in the right direction for sure. But right now, Lance Lynn is just dominating opposing teams. 1.2 ERA on the season. I don't know if the Tigers have the sticks in the lineup to do damage against a pitcher that is throwing with the caliber that Lance Lynn is right now. It's been pretty fun to watch, and certainly it's looking like a steal that the White Sox were able to get him. Remember, they got him from the Rangers. They sent Dane Dunning to the Texas Rangers, and they got Lance Lynn in return. And I thought for sure, hey, that's not bad for Texas getting Dane Dunning, but Dane Dunning's not been what I thought he would, and Lance Lynn has definitely pitched way better than I thought he would this season for the White Sox. So his best season of his career so far, no question. Yeah, David Sharp liking the White Sox run line. I wouldn't argue with that. It's certainly Chicago or pass. I'm not going against this team and Lance Lynn with the numbers he's had. Maybe a first 5 under. It's always scary with the White Sox lineup. Whenever you take a first 5 under, there's no question that lineup with Anderson, Moncada, Abreu, Mercedes. They can strike at any moment. And they're even getting contributions down the lineup, like guys like Zach Collins, Nick Madrigal, are scoring and hitting for them this season as well. It is a loaded, stacked lineup. It's never an easy lineup to say, hey, let's bet first 5 under. But boy, I mean, Lynn's pitching great. I don't trust the Tigers against him. And Casey Mize is trending in a little bit of a better direction lately. So I would lean a little to that first 5 under here. Detroit, Chicago. Connor, what do you think in this one here with the Tigers and the White Sox?
Yeah, it's that the White Sox lineup, they can just explode at any time and score a bunch of runs, but they can get shut out here. And I lean the first 5 under. I haven't betted or anything yet, but I lean the first 5 under 4. Mize has been better as of late. And, I like the Bulldog, Lance Lynn, 6-1. He's been great all year. I lean the White Sox run line a little bit, full game. I kind of look maybe their team total over 4.5, -103. Any of those, I think that they get to the Tigers here. Kind of a difficult one. I don't know if I'm going to bet it, but I lean first 5 under. I'd go more team total over 4.5, but I think the White Sox are the play here.
Yeah, I do a hockey show daily with Alex B. Smith. He's a big White Sox fan. And we were just talking the other day about this team. How nice is it to see Billy Hamilton hitting? I mean, this guy has got incredible speed on the base paths, and he's actually starting to hit finally. But you never got to see it enough because he's always hitting $180, and never getting on base. He's striking out a lot. He's not hitting. And now all of a sudden you're seeing him now put the bat on the ball and getting on base. And look, you can use that speed. That's definitely a good sign for the White Sox. And just a scary lineup. And Lance Lynn on the mound today. Pretty good combination. They should win this game. I expect them to. All right, next up, we've got the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals. Jay Happ, Chris Bubich on the mound. You got a battle of lefties in this one. Kansas City, pretty much even money here, -110 in this game. Total 9.5, shaded to the under. Minnesota, red hot for a while, but cooled off the last couple of games. Baltimore had lost like 13 in a row to the Twins, and now they end the series against the Twins, winning 2 straight. Against this Minnesota team. So they'll be looking to bounce back. Jay Happ has been a little bit spotty lately. He had a great start to the season. And ironically enough, we were talking about the White Sox just a second ago. It was basically a start against the White Sox that started the negative trajectory here for Jay Happ, because since that start against the White Sox, he hasn't been nearly as effective, hasn't been nearly as sharp. We'll see if he can turn it around here in this matchup against the Royals. Kansas City on the other side with Chris Bubich on the mound here for them. We'll see how he fares, the lefty. I think he's going to be a pretty good pitcher for them in the long term. He's kind of struggled with consistency early on, but he's starting to pitch better. The last couple have been much better, solid outings for Chris Bubich on the mound here against this Twins team. And the Twins bullpen is starting to become a problem again, having trouble putting up zeros later in innings. I definitely have a lean. I'll probably pull the trigger here on KC. In this game, probably a first 5 and a full game split. I don't like the way Happ is going. Bubich is going in the other direction, pitching much better of late for the Royals. So I like Kansas City here a little bit. First 5 and full game split. We know with this Twins team, streaky as hell, went through that brutal early in the season, got a nice little win streak going, and now they've dropped 2 in a row. This is looking like a streaky ball club. Hopefully they keep the losing side of that streak going tonight, because I do like Kansas City here a little bit. Connor, what do you think here, Twins and Royals?
Yeah, I'd be on the Royals here as well. Bubich has pitched a lot better. I can't trust Happ. The Twins that game yesterday against the Orioles, just got no hitting, couldn't score any runs. I like the first 5 under 5.5 at -115 though. I know these pitchers haven't been great, and there's some good numbers the Royals have here. Off Happ, a few guys. Perez has got a couple homers, a few others, Merrifield. But I'm going to look first 5 under 5.5, and I lean Royals full game here, -110.
All right, Royals full game and a first 5 under for Connor Mack as well in this one. And definitely some home run props stand out to me in this game. Sal Perez, always interested in home run jack of the day for him against Jay Happ. Hainzer Alberto as well, 2 homers and 20 at bats against Jay Happ, assuming, of course, he gets into the line. Whit Merrifield, you can go with him as well. He's 3 for 17, which isn't good, but 2 of those 3 hits home runs. So sometimes you ignore the average overall. Sometimes you ignore the overall numbers, and you see that the hits that he has had against Jay Happ have been home runs. So Whit Merrifield, there's a bunch of Royals that are on that Jack of the Day list for me in this matchup tonight against Jay Happ. Really, the only one that's hit a homer against Bubic is Nelson Cruz. But still, I think Bubic will pitch well here tonight, and it shows you Bubic is actually kept a lot of these Twins bats silent for the most part. We'll see if he can keep it going here tonight. Next up, we've got the Cincinnati Reds, St. Louis Cardinals. In this matchup, we've got the old veteran Adam Wainwright on the mound for the Cardinals. We've got Vladimir Gutierrez on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. We'll see how he goes here. Definitely Gutierrez taking this start here. We've got the Cardinals minus 160 home favorites here in some spots across the board here. Actually down to pretty much 150. It has come down a bit. Minus 150 is the consensus price here with the Cardinals. Total 8.5 shaded to the under in this one. We'll see how Vladimir Gutierrez pitches here for the Reds. Because obviously there's a little bit of a lack of familiarity. He's a little bit newer arm to this Cincinnati pitching staff. St. Louis has never seen him before. On the flip side, Adam Wainwright, it is pretty amazing, Connor, when you look at Adam Wainwright. His ERA on the road this year is like 5 or way over 5, and his ERA at home is like around 2. I mean, the home versus
totally different
road split dichotomy. It's like we're talking about 2 totally different human beings in terms of Adam Wainwright at home versus Adam Wainwright on the road. That's the way it's been this season. And when he's at home, he's capable. When he's at home, he can get you 5-6 innings and hold you to 2-3 runs. That's generally what you get from Adam Wainwright here at Busch Stadium. No doubt about that. So when I look at this game here between these 2 teams, I definitely would lean here a little bit to the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know if I want to lay minus 150. You could go with the minus half a run option on St. Louis in the first 5 innings. I think that's probably the best look in this game if you like St. Louis. But I like Wainwright at home. And when you look at Cincinnati, obviously their bullpen is still a problem. So maybe you could go with the full game as well. But I think the first 5 laying a half a run is the way I would go if I were to bet it. Haven't bet it yet, but definitely would lean in that direction. Connor, what's your thoughts here? Reds, Cardinals.
Yeah, this one's kind of interesting, this game to me. Wainwright's been really, really good at home, like you talked about. He's been horrible on the road. Gutierrez making his first start. I don't know what you're going to get out of him. The Reds have some pretty good numbers off Wainwright, though. I kind of want to look at the Reds getting plus money here. Maybe first 5. Tucker Barnhart, 8 for 18 with a couple homers. Winker, 3 for 11 with a homer. A few guys, Suarez, 8 for 25 off Adam Wainwright. They see him a lot. He's just been really good at home. It's just a tough spot. But I lean Reds here with the plus money. I know even with Wainwright being really good, and who knows with Gutierrez, I don't know what you're going to get. He could pitch great. He could get tattooed. He's just spot starting here, filling in for Hoffman. So we'll see. But I lean the Reds getting this plus money here. Maybe early, first 5 or something.
All right, Seattle Mariners and the LA Angels. Justice Sheffield, the lefty. Griffin Canning for the LA Angels. Angels minus 150 to minus 160 in that range. Home favorites. The total 9, pretty much across the board in this one. Both of these pitchers have had up and down seasons. No question going into this matchup here. But both of them might match up well against these 2 teams. We know the Angels against lefties sometimes struggle and don't really hit the left-handed side, and that's obviously where Sheffield comes from. And you look at some of the numbers, Anthony Rendon only 1 for 5, David Fletcher only 1 for 5. He's held most of these Angels in check and limited at bats in the past. And Griffin Canning, who we know has had a bit of a difficult season, more than a bit, a 5.4 ERA for him coming into this start. He's definitely struggled and when he's left the ball over the zone, he has been hit very hard this season. That's been an issue, but he's holding the Seattle Mariners collectively to a 111 overall team batting average in the past. J.P. Crawford, 1 for 5 against him. Kyle Seager, 1 for 8 against Griffin Canning. in the past, and a lot of offers as well. So yeah, Canning is usually not a guy I like to back or trust, but he's shut down Seattle completely in the past when he's faced them. And look, on the other side, you got Sheffield, who I still think's got some ability. He's just got to harness a little bit better consistency one start to the next. He's still not there yet, but I don't trust the Angels to hit him, because of the fact he's a lefty, and the Angels have struggled against that side of the plate all season long. So this sure smells like a first 5 under for me, and you want to keep it to first 5 under because Seattle's bullpen's no great shakes. And how many times have we talked about the Angels bullpen this season? So this one looks to me like maybe a first 5 under the way to go. What do you think, Connor, with Seattle, LA Angels?
Yeah, these guys have unreal numbers. It's just Griffin Canning. I like Justice Sheffield a little better, but both these guys aren't very good. They do have good numbers. I mean, most of them don't have 10 at-bats, but there's a lot of 1 for 8s, 0 for 7s, 1 for 6 for both guys against these lineups. It just is difficult. I'd lean a little bit that first 5 under, and maybe the Mariners first 5 here getting plus money. I think the Angels with him on the mound, with Canning on the mound, shouldn't be minus 155. It's just tough for me lately betting the Mariners. They haven't been good for me, but I'd lean them the plus money. Maybe get on Canning early, get some runs. I'd lean that way.
All right, next up, we've got the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis. Or not St. Louis, we just talked St. Louis. Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants, Zach Davies, Anthony DeSclafani. There we go. For Jose, he'll appreciate that. We've got San Francisco minus 125, home favorites, 8.5 the total, shaded to the under in this one. The Cubs, pretty impressive what we've seen from them of late. They've played pretty solid baseball. A lot of it's been at Wrigley Field, though. You get them on the road, they're 11-13. That's going to be the challenge for the Cubs. It's nice that you can win games at Wrigley. Can you go on the road and get the job done? That's the question. We've got Zach Davies on the mound, who's really pitching a lot better the last 3 starts. Cubs in his last 3 starts, 2.4 ERA during that span. He's given up just 1 run in his last 10 innings of work against St. Louis and Cincinnati. So he's definitely worked out the kinks and pitched a lot better of late for the Cubs. DeSclafani, on the other hand, he was really having a great season until he got shit rocked. Essentially by the Dodgers back on May 23rd. He gave up that 10 spot in just 2.2 innings, got knocked out of the game in the 3rd inning. Came back against that same Dodgers team in his last start, really labored. Fox, a home run, 2 runs, 5 hits, only lasted 4.2 innings. You got to wonder if the scales are tipping. You got to wonder if the pendulum is swinging a little bit on Anthony DeSclafani, that, hey, he had a nice couple months there, but hey, he's going to revert back to that average pitcher, essentially, that he's pretty much been most of his career, especially with Cincinnati. It kind of looks that way. It kind of feels that way right now. I would lean to the Cubs full game here. Cubs bullpen has been excellent lately. I can't say that about San Francisco. The one thing that's keeping me off is, look, Chicago's done all of this winning and this little surge that they've been on. Most of it's been home cooking. Most of it's been at Wrigley Field, and they go on the road. They just don't hit as well, especially the offense. I find the offense really falls off on the road in terms of run production compared to at home. There's a significant gap in offensive productiveness with this group, home versus road. That does worry me a little bit, but I do like the form right now. Look, we're talking about a team that's 9-1 in their last 10 games, and now they're an underdog tonight against the San Francisco Giants. So I lean to Chicago, and they do have the better bullpen. So I do lean to the Cubs here a little bit at a small plus price, full game, because I want that bullpen advantage on my side as well. What do you think here, C-Mac? Cubs, Giants?
Yeah, this is a good one. I think I'm going to stay off. I don't love the Cubs and Davies on the road. That's the only thing. They're playing great baseball right now, and they just keep winning. I think the Giants playing well too. DeSclafani, you're right. He's kind of on the regression a little bit, but I think he pitches better here at home. I lean the Giants a little bit. I think the Cubs had to travel, leave Wrigley, go to San Francisco. I just think the Giants first 5 here, maybe you can go a half a run. I might do that. I think a little advantage to the Giants early here, first 5. I'm looking that way.
Yeah, that's a good point about Davies on the road. 6.41 ERA in 5 road starts for him. So he's been a different guy on the road. Yeah, you got to keep
2 good starts last year against the Giants, though. He had 2
Yes.
two starts that were pretty decent against the Giants last year.
This is one of those games where there's positives and negatives to back either side and positives and negatives to back either pitcher. That's the way I see it. I just like the momentum with the Cubs. And the one thing about the travel spot, that was a day game yesterday to end that series.
Yeah, they were out of there.
So it gives them a little bit more time to get acclimated. Like I said, I don't know if I'll bet the game, but I do lean Cubs full game in this one. All right, final game. Last game of this Thursday slate, New York Mets, San Diego Padres. Pretty good pitching matchup on the bump here. Taijuan Walker for the Mets, Yu Darvish for the Padres. San Diego minus 170 to minus 175. Home favorites here. The total 6.5, shaded to the over in this game. Once again, this definitely looks like an under to me, especially in the first 5. I love the form of both of these pitchers. Taijuan Walker, he's been excellent. 1.84 ERA for the New York Mets, the Metropolitans. Yu Darvish, 5-1, 2.16 ERA coming into this start. So both of these guys have been dealing throughout the course of the season. But again, you're getting squeezed in terms of the first 5 under. Like, I don't even see many 3.5s anymore. I'm seeing this down to 3, in some spots. And all it takes is a walk and a blast, or a bloop and a blast, as they say, and you're in trouble with a first 5 under. So it's just not a lot of wiggle room for a first 5 under, even with these guys pitching extremely well right now. The Mets coming off a 7-6 win against the Diamondbacks yesterday. They've actually gone to the over now in 5 straight games. And look, that lineup, it's getting healthier, Connor. Talked about it. Pete Alonso back in the lineup. A couple other guys, Kevin Pillar, a couple other guys coming back. They're going to have Jeff McNeil hopefully back later this month. Conforto's on his way to coming back later this month. So they're getting some guys back. Still a couple that are on their way to returning. And you're starting to see the offense perk up here for the Mets. 13-6, 5-7 in their last 4 games. Some of that was Arizona's just pitching is terrible. In terms of why they put up a lot of runs the last few games. But still, the lineup is hitting a little bit better. Padres aren't hitting. I mean, they've lost 4 straight. They're in a little bit of a slump. 4 runs or less in those 4 losses. They've scored a grand total of 10 runs, Connor Mack. 10 runs in their last 4 games combined. So this offense is a little bit dormant right now. Been battling a couple of absences as well in the lineup. Tatis Jr. with that oblique injury. Trent Grisham with the heel injury. So they've had a couple of their bigger sticks in the lineup battling injuries, and no sure thing to return tonight. I think this is a tall price on the New York Mets here in the first 5 innings with Walker going the way he's going right now. I think it's worth a look here, taking New York Mets, very rich plus price. Their offense is starting to click. The Padres offense isn't clicking right now. I get it. Yu Darvish is very good. He's had a nice season. Deserves to be the favorite here. Not this much, in my opinion, with a lineup that's not hitting right now behind him, and a Mets team that's playing some good ball, getting their lineup going a little bit the last few games. Give me the Mets here. Around plus 155 is what you can get with them for a first 5 innings here in this one. And again, I would want the first 5 more than the full game, because there is a slight pen advantage, I think, to the Padres over the Mets, especially with the Mets having to use a lot of their relievers the last few days against Arizona. So first 5 innings is what I'm zoning in on. New York Mets. I think we have a live dog here, first 5 innings with the New York Mets here in this one. What do you think, C-Mac? Mets, Padres.
Yeah, Walker's been good. Me and Sharpie brought this up right away to me yesterday in the Discord. If you haven't been in the Discord, check it out. Pub Sports Radio, join. I'm sure Big Show will throw it in the chat
if
you need to get in. But, Walker's been so good. 4-1, 1.84 ERA. It's just way too big a price. I know Darvish is 5-1. He's got a 2.16 ERA. But I'm getting here, too. There's 160. I got plus 170, first 5 right here. I'm staring at it. It's just way too big here. I got to take the Mets first 5. I like the under. You got a lot of 3.5s are gone. There's a lot of 3s, plus 110. I still lean that way, but like you said, just a blast. And this is why I like the Mets. They haven't hit Darvish really hard, but Pillar's got a couple homers, 3 for 10. McCann's 3 for 7 with a homer. Alonso 1 for 7, but he's got a homer. Lindor 4 for 7. I think some guys have hit him, so I like the Mets first 5 here. I think it's just way too big of a price for the Padres, who haven't been playing well and haven't been hitting. Maybe they get back home, but I like Walker here, and I like the Mets.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree. The Mets are worth a look. At this price, they are. Now, look, Darvish, they are 10-1 in his 11 starts this season. They've won 7 straight times with him on the mound, the Padres. So that's a tough track record to go against. But I could throw it right back at you with the Mets with Taijuan Walker on the mound. They're 8-1, the Mets, in Taijuan Walker's 9 starts this season, and 6 straight they've won with him on the mound. So, they're right there. Their numbers and record has been every bit as impressive, the Mets with Walker pitching for them, as the Padres with Darvish pitching for them. So that's why I think this should be closer to even money. I'm not saying they should be San Diego should be favored. To me, they just shouldn't be favored by this much, and that's why I like the Mets, and I think they're worth a shot here in the first 5 innings, especially with some key bats. Are we going to see Fernando Tatis Jr. tonight? Are we going to see Grisham in the lineup tonight? Will Myers has been in and out lately for this lineup. They've really only had Hosmer and Machado of the big boppers in this lineup consistently day in and day out. So definitely concerns for laying this kind of price with San Diego. Conor liking Mets first 5 as well as the under first 5 here as well, even though it's a really, really tight number. 3.5. Make sure you shop around if you do like that first 5 innings in terms of the total in this game. All right, a great analysis, Conor Mack. That is the Thursday MLB card. We will get you to Jack of the Day and our best bets in just a second. But as we always do at this time of the show, we'll pause for a couple of messages from both Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101, when you are in San Antonio, Texas, check them out. Stop in, have a bite to eat, have a few drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Like I said, if Ian Cameron were to pick a bar, it would have all of those things, and it does. So check out Southtown 101, San Antonio, when you're in town. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off. All you guys out there, take care of yourself, all right? Body's important, should be to you. So make sure you take care of yourself with all the male grooming products of Manscaped, promo code PubSports. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. It's still a great time of year. I know we're in June, but we've still got the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, the NBA playoffs for several more rounds still ahead. Major League Baseball daily. There's UFC cards most weekends. We've got US Open golf, the next major on Father's Day weekend. And look, I'm going to say it again, football season. It's time to put that in your head. Football season is around the corner. We're going to have NFL preseason football in 2 months from now. So it is going to be here before you know it, NFL and college football. For that matter. So get involved with mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit when you use mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, it is that time for the Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
There it is, Jack of the Day. And once again, Conor, a little bit of a slim pickings kind of day, in my opinion, for Jack of the Day. Not a whole lot to choose from. I'm going to go back to a couple of those Kansas City Royals here. I like the Royals in that game tonight against the Twins, against J Happ. I'm going to go to Sal Perez and that 2 home runs he's had against J Happ and 20 at-bats. 7 hits, 2 of those have left the yard. Sal Perez, Jack of the Day candidate. I wouldn't talk you out of Whit Merrifield as well in that game. Perez and Merrifield for the Royals, definitely on the radar in terms of Jack of the Day candidates for the Royals in that one against the Twins. Other than that, not a whole lot in terms, maybe Reddick for Arizona against Brett Anderson. But those are the main 2 I'm going to stick with right there. The 2 Royals, Sal Perez and Whit Merrifield of the Kansas City Royals, Jack of the Day against J Happ. Conor Mack, Jack of the Day, what's caught your eye?
Yeah, I'm going to go to my guy, Tucker Barnhart, 8 for 18 with 2 homers. And then I'm going to give you a few. It's got me a little bit backpedaling. I mean, Chris Bryant's 8 for 23, 2 homers. My guy yesterday didn't get one. Jock Peterson, 5 for 11, 3 bombs off of DeSclafani. So maybe the Cubs, they got some jack there. And Rizzo even has a couple, 7 for 30 with a couple jacks. All those Cubs look pretty good, and they've been hitting. Rizzo, Bryant, those guys have been hitting lately. Maybe a little sprinkle on them, but give me my guy. He's probably huge too. Tucker Barnhart, jack of the day, baby. Long shot.
Tucker Barnhart. Yeah, you're going to get you might get close to the 500, plus 500 on him.
Yeah, I think he can more. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time you're going to get, plus 250, 75, sometimes 350, 400, depending on the player and who they're up against in terms of the home run props. But yeah, definitely. Tucker Barnhart, you'll get a good number with him here tonight for the Cincinnati Reds against Adam Wainwright. And keep in mind, the Reds have seen Wainwright a shit ton, playing him in the division, for many, many years now. So a little bit of familiarity. That's why I'm not in love with St. Louis tonight. I haven't bet it yet, and I don't know if I will, because as good as he's been at home, Wainwright, there's that huge familiarity that the Reds have with him. There's nothing that they haven't seen from Adam Wainwright, that team. So keep an eye on that. Robert Cherry, like a Nick Castellanos, the Greek Stallion, for the Cincinnati Reds there at potential jack of the day against Adam Wainwright. So you're not the only one picking on old man Wainwright here. A couple others are doing that as well in terms of home run prop candidates for tonight. All right, let's turn our attention now to best bet for this Thursday MLB card. Connor Mack, we'll start with you. What do you like for best bet?
I like the Red Sox and Astros over 9. But I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go first 5 inning Mets. I think it's too much value. Give me the plus 170. Just think it's too much. I think they're playing a little bit better. Lineup's a little healthy. Who knows? Darvish could stop the bleeding. And like I said, the Padres had a great bullpen, so I don't want to go that far. I think it's low scoring, but I think we can scratch a couple runs or a homer or 2 off Darvish. Give me the Mets first 5. Too much value here, plus 170, first 5.
All right, there we go. New York Mets, first 5 innings at a big plus price with Taijuan Walker on the mound. Best bet for Connor Mack for this show. Mine is going to be Arizona, Milwaukee. We're going to go over 9, minus 120 in this one with Duplantier and Brett Anderson. Arizona sticks are waking up. Their bullpen stinks. And Arizona is one of those teams, I think they've gone over the total, Connor Mack, 6 in a row, 6-0 to the over. Arizona in their last 6 games.
It was over quick.
Yeah, when you start seeing these teams that go on these over streaks, it's because the lineups are hitting and the bullpens can't get outs. It's usually those 2 factors, and we're seeing that right now with Arizona. So I think Milwaukee scores against Duplantier and a bad bullpen. And like we said about Arizona, they hit lefties. They hit lefties quite well. Just ask David Peterson of the New York Mets. They absolutely crushed him in the first inning yesterday afternoon. They just hit lefties well, and their offense is starting to hit, and it's really not been the biggest problem during this funk for the Diamondbacks. It's been their pitching. So I think you get runs on both sides here. Let's go Diamondbacks, Brewers, over 9, minus 120. That is my best bet for this Thursday MLB card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. We will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific with the NBA Pub Hub. We'll get you ready for a couple of elimination games in the association. Blazers, Nuggets, Suns, Lakers. Are we finally going to see the end of LeBron James in that bald spot on his head for another season? We'll have to wait and see tonight. Could be the last time we see it this year. Suns and Lakers as well. 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Connor Mack, myself, hopefully Ski Profits back with us today, and Dutch Boy Fresh as well. So make sure you join us for the NBA Pub Hub later this afternoon. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday afternoon. We'll see you in a couple hours, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.